Hello, I'm back for another instalment of my Q&As. I'm going to get straight in with Nikki in a vlog. She asks, hi Imo, how did you start working in a band and how long have you been doing it for? I started when I was 16, I think. So that is 32 years. Oh, blimey, that's a long time, isn't it? I'm still standing. And I had a very related question as well from Joshua Jeffrey. Thank you, Joshua. Joshua says, hi, how long have you played in a band and do you like it? Yes, I do. I love it. I do indeed. How did I start working in a band though? Networking. It's not what you know, it's who you know, they say, don't they? Obviously, you've got to be skilled at your craft, obviously, be trained or self-taught or whatever it is to a, good enough standard. It's true what they say, you do have to network and meet with other musicians. When I first started, it's because I think it was one of these schools ensembles. It might have been a flute and clarinet ensemble or a school's wind band or something like that. I knew somebody who wanted a flute player for their band, something like that. Or it might have been an out of school drama class, something like that. That's what very initially triggered the first band at age 16. I think I was 16, might have been a bit younger, not sure. School age anyway. I was back in the early 90s, I think. Yeah, must have been, mustn't it? So yeah, that's how. But you know, me and Ibi are quite often going on these musical jaunts, aren't we, where we go and play music with loads of other musicians that like the same kind of music as us. This is how you get asked to do work. These musicians know their musician friends or associates, and when they need somebody to play fiddle or pipes or whatever, they know they've got this collective that they can pull from. So if you're a musician, it's just really important to get out and socialise with other musicians as much as you can. And the socialising it's always playing music for us, you know, pretty much. So that's how, and that's my advice. If you want to be in a band, get out there and play with other musicians. It could be, like, obviously, if you're not playing traditional music like me, there's open mics. That's probably a great way to do it, that kind of thing. Right, this is a good channel name. I'll get my coat. They said, right, okay, so we got a ladies question now. I know you aren't keen on talking about HRT, but how are the patches going for you? The only reason I'm hesitant to talk about my HRT is because I don't want to influence anybody's decision, basically. It's a big decision to make. This is my disclaimer, I am not medically trained. There are risks and benefits, and they vary according to various factors, lifestyle factors, age, medical history, lots of things like that. So don't just take my word for it, do your own research, work out what is best for you if you're in that position to be looking into it and discuss it with your GP and all that stuff. But anyway, all that aside, I'm getting on blinking great. I'm so happy. Back to the old me again. I can sleep at night. I'm waking up refreshed. I have not had one hot flush from the moment I put the patch on, apart from when I had that sickness bug, when I had the hots and chills. But you do anyway when you're ill, don't you? That's the only time I can concentrate for longer periods than I can remember being able to concentrate for ever. Like, I just sit and focus on my music, like transcribing and arranging, and hours will pass. I don't come up for air. I'm just so engrossed in it. Whereas before, like multiple times per hour, I was having to strip layers off and cool down. Hot flushes are disruptive. It sounds almost comedic if you don't really know much about them. Oh, old ladies have hot flushes, but it agitates you because you're too hot. You've got to kind of calm yourself down a bit, and it's a bit stressful, I suppose. You know, if you've got to resolve something and stop what you're doing and resolve a problem multiple times per hour and waking up in the night with it was a nightmare. So from the hots and sweats and focus, it's been absolutely brilliant. Now, I don't really want to talk about my personal area. My YouTube channel to the world, my lady bits down there, the front bum. I'm terribly British and prudish about it. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to anyway. I kind of do want to talk about it because people don't necessarily know it might happen, and people might be having the same experience and think it's just them. Well, it isn't. So, dryness, vaginal dryness is a thing that can come with low estrogen when you have the menopause. Who knew? So that was a lovely surprise. But I mean, if you think of any area that goes dry that's not supposed to be dry, it can become very prone to infections, can't it? And irritation and soreness. So I was already on various medications for this, which have been gradually coming in and clicking into place over the last couple of years. But the HRT has been the final bit that's really helped elevate the old situation. So I will tell you what I'm on. I won't give medical names, but pessaries with estrogen, basically, twice a week. I know, I cannot believe I'm telling you this, but I feel it's important to talk about it. So anyway, yeah, them, which helped to an extent, and special lady moisturiser, Silk, SYLK. I get it on prescription, but you can buy it on Amazon as well. And you know, it goes on daily, you know, every time I've had a wash, just apply a bit. And it does not help, because like sitting, standing, walking is so much more comfortable now. Like you probably don't think anything. I wouldn't have thought anything about having a dry, you know, area down there. Wouldn't have really thought about it. I don't know. It's out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. But it affects everything, like how comfortable you are when you're sitting and walking and standing. Another thing, I have been prescribed, I don't take it that often actually, but it's low-level antibiotics. So if there's likely to be any triggers for infections, I get to take low-level antibiotics, not for very long actually. One doctor said 1 a day for 10 days, and another doctor subsequently was horrified and said, no, just take 1 tablet. And then Umdenarden said, okay, well, not more than 4 in a row or something like that. But anyway, I hardly need to take them now, but I'm on HRT, I've hardly taken them at all. So that's good. But anyway, that's the thing, the estrogen pessaries, moisturiser, low-level antibiotics, and HRT. Once I went on that HRT, the biggest difference I noticed really quite, I don't know, within a few weeks, was not having a continuous feeling of needing to go for a wee, because this is what I've had for as long as I can remember, like years, like, because I've been going through menopause since, or at least I was 45, I'm 48 now. I can have a wee and immediately after feel like I need a wee, and I never know if I really need a wee or if it's just irritation, because it's been so irritated for so long. Like, people that know me probably think, well, she's gone to the loo again. I'm sure she only went an hour ago or whatever, you know. It's a nightmare. Like, sometimes if I'm really distracted, deep in thought, and I'll have a wee, and then I can't remember if I've had a wee, and I've got to leave the house for an hour, and I think, oh, I better have a wee. Did I just have a wee? And if I can't remember, I can't tell by the way I feel. But since going on HRT, I have long periods where I don't feel like I need a wee, and it's really, really revolutionised things. I bet you weren't expecting that in a Q&A, were you? No, nor was I earlier, but I thought, oh, I'd better talk about it, really. So thanks to I'll Get My Coat for that question. Now, they did also say that they would love to hear me play. I presume you mean my bands, or one of them. Do I have a gig in London? I haven't got any gigs in London, no. The vast majority of my bookings are private. It's kind of a hangover from all those years of homeschooling and just my lack of availability for touring. You know, I just kind of kept ticking over with Kaylee's, which almost always tend to be private bookings. But it does kind of, I am a bit uncomfortable sharing details of my bands. I'm being overt about it on the channel. I'm just a bit uncomfortable about making it too obvious where I'm gonna be and when, because I do get the odd nasty comment, especially late at night, probably drunk people, but they're nasty and it makes you worried about encountering them, you know. But I'll never say never about the bands thing. I might publicise it one day, but I would have to have discussed it with all the band members and everybody to be comfortable with that. There's a lot of folk music haters out there, believe it or not. You know, we get, in real life, you know, you get abuse sometimes playing in pubs and stuff. Come and shout at you and tell you to play proper music and stuff. Don't like it, you know, it's not for everyone. So, you know, yeah. So not quite comfortable sharing public gigs yet. Angie Beaumont says, do you ever feel like YouTube is intruding on you too personally? I'm smiling because what I was just talking about. Yes. But I choose, don't I? And sometimes if I feel like I overshare, I do cut it out. We see all the rooms in your house apart from Izzy's room. Do you ever feel it's an invasion of your privacy? I do feel like I overshare sometimes. I mean, I overshare for a reason. Like, for example, the whole dry vagina thing. Like, I've totally just, it's like putting your intestines on display, isn't it? But it's for a reason. It's because it's going to resonate with people, it's going to comfort people, it's going to maybe help people to think about how they can change their situation for the better, or just providing information generally. Like, a lot of us go through the same problems and issues, and so yes, I do feel like I overshare, and it does feel a bit uncomfortable on occasions, but it's kind of a sacrifice for the greater good. I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but that's kind of what I feel like. It's not very nice for me, but it's useful for people. Sometimes though, if I'm feeling a bit too oversharey and I just feel like I just need a break from it, it's great for me to do travel videos or out and about vlogs where I only vlog on that specific day out and I'm not sharing my home life or my home, and it's in a way it's a bit of a relief for me when I do those, because yeah, I still might get hatey comments or whatever, but it won't be that personal attack about, you know, my food choices or what I'm wearing. Well, no, I'd still get that anyway, but you know. Yeah, they're not quite of the same nature when it's not sharing your very intimate home setting, your bedroom or whatever, your messy bedroom. Right, a question from Donny's Weekend Van Life Travels UK. Donny has his own channel, and that is it, Donny's Weekend Van Life Travels UK. And he wants to know, is my family Welsh or did they move to Wales? They moved to Wales before I was born. They're from London, my parents, and I was born and raised in Cardiff. So if people ask me where I'm from, I say I'm from Wales, but I don't know if I'm Welsh or if I'm English. I'm probably just a mixture. I'm like English blood, but raised in Wales by English parents. Well, that's who I am. Julie Pearson. Hi Imo, if you could make a living out of YouTube, would you do it full time? I absolutely would. I already do it full time, but I don't make a full-time living out of it. I think I do it full time anyway. I think so. The hours I spend filming and editing, I think I do. I love it enough to make it my full-time job, but the only problem is I also love music so much that I would never want to give it up as a job. So I kind of will, I think I'll always be doing the both things, if you know what I mean. Yeah, these next two things were actually in just comments of videos. I didn't manage to answer them, but I took a screenshot of them and I've put them in the Q&A. So Jason Woods asks, what is tofu and what does it taste like? It's actually made from soya bean curd. It's hard to describe the taste. It tastes like tofu. It's not to everybody's taste. Like, I wouldn't heartily recommend tofu to everybody, because a lot of people that I've seen trying it take a mouthful and go, yeah, how can you eat this bland sludge, you know, and don't like it at all? But I love it. I literally eat it straight out of the packet. I suppose it's quite a mild flavour. And it definitely helps to cook it with a lot of strong flavours. I feel like it's getting dark in here all of a sudden. Sorry if I'm going a bit dark. It's very easy to cut through it. It's not sinewy. It's quite a soft texture to cut through. I like it. I think it's worth a try, but if you don't like it, don't blame me. But I love it. All right, AC asks, what inspired you to learn Portuguese and how long did it take to learn? Also, are you fluent? And I would say for probably 25 years, but really on and off. Like, haven't really been going at it hard for any of that time, I don't think. It's just kind of been a hobby, you know, something to do in spare time. The reason I wanted to start learning it in the first place was because I did a foreign exchange term at university when I studied in Lisbon in the conservatoire there, the music conservatoire, which probably sounds a lot fancier than it really was. But I lamented the fact that even after 3 months I could barely speak a word, and I tried hard with my Learn Portuguese in 3 months book. I just wanted to speak it ever since. It's like been my challenge to myself to just keep going with it, keep trying. And yeah, I'm not fluent. I'm really not fluent. I still struggle to understand the spoken language when I hear it. I struggle to latch onto it. A lot of people have said the same that have been trying to learn it for years. It's just difficult. Right, next one, Bluebird. Oh, what do you think happened to the missing child, Madeleine McCann? I wouldn't like to say. I mean, it would be entirely speculation. I haven't followed the case really closely at all. I don't know. I mean, I'm just assuming somebody took advantage and snatched her, I'm presuming, or lured her out of the room and took her away, I'm assuming. But thank you for the question. Bridie Wright. How long have you been with IB? I think I've been with IB about 13 years. Izzy was 5. And I remember us celebrating her 6th birthday together in Tenerife. And I don't think we'd been together that long when that happened. Maybe we had, I don't know, about 13 years, roughly, give or take. I didn't write the date in my diary. Thrifty Grandma. Do you and IB have bikes where you could go for some amazing rides? IB wants to get an e-bike. I think he's got a bike. I don't have a bike. I haven't got a very good history with bikes. I tend to fall off them. I lose my balance and yeah, I have a horrible memory of grinding my leg between the bike and some very uneven tarmac. It was all grazed up the side of my leg. I wouldn't say I'd never try it again, but I'm nervous. I would be much happier to do it on a cycle path or off-road. It's traffic that frightens me, losing control of the bike and going under a lorry, and I think a lot of people do have accidents and get killed in that way, so I don't think it's completely irrational fear. Off-road, I'd give it a go. I worry about injuring myself, because if I break my arm or something, I can't play my flute, and then that's my livelihood gone in it. So I'm a bit precious about the old fingers. Yeah. Kitchen worker says, I have a question for you, Imo. What was the reason for your moving house, and do you think you might move again? I moved because when I first moved there were a lot of local amenities. There's a library, a lovely little library, a swimming pool, paddling pool in the park for little children, there were banks, just loads of little amenities like that. Like, you had everything on the doorstep pretty much. But gradually, over the 13 years I think it was that I lived there, maybe 14 years, things began to shut down one by one, and in the end everything was a commute, which is no fun when you don't drive. So I always wanted to be more in the middle of things, always. I came from Canton originally, in Cardiff, and there were just so many supermarkets, a library, and just amenities everywhere right on the doorstep, and that's what I wanted again. So I moved to an area more like that. Would I move again? I don't know. I kind of like, once I shut that door behind me on moving day, I thought, that's it, I'm gonna be here for as long as I can, you know, and we'll, you know, go into a care home or whatever. But I don't know, who knows what life's gonna throw us. I could see myself living out my days in this lovely little house in a town. But who knows, maybe everything will close down here too. Hopefully not though, because I'm very happy here indeed. Right then, Angie Beaumont asks, do you call IB off camera? And a few people have said that actually, yeah. Sarah Haverson also says, I often wonder when I'm watching if IB is only referred to as that on the vlogs, or if it's ended up becoming a bit of a nickname and now people refer to him as IB even when the camera isn't on. Yeah, totally. Especially me, like, it's become a nickname. But I've even gone to the thing of writing it down. Like, you'll even see, like, on his sandwich bag, if I've written our initials on the sandwich bag, I write IB on it, because I know I can get away with filming it then. I don't have to blur out his real initials. So yeah, I do, not most of the time, but sometimes I just think it's amusing to do that. We're on to the last one now. Northern Light 100 says, not so much of a question but a thought for future vlogs. I love the way you're able to just shop, know what to buy, to put easy veggie meals together. I would love to see more of this, even what I eat in a day/week. It would be a great help for those of us who are trying to eat this way. Okay, well, I shall think about that. I think in my head, because I went vegetarian at 14, I think I learned then about nutrition quite a lot, and categories, you know, your things for your water-soluble vitamins, your carbohydrates, your proteins, your iron, and, you know, a lot of these are combined and cross over and all that. But I think in my head, like, I've got this split plate. You know, I've got to have this many green veg, this much in the way of pulses or corn or cheese or some kind of protein. You know, got to have carbohydrate. And I think when I'm shopping, it's just something from that sort of category drop down. Or I need carbohydrates, so it might be pasta, rice, potatoes, quinoa. You know, they get more obscure down the list, gnocchi. Or I need some kind of veg, right? What's reduced? So that's reduced, well, I'll have those for my veg, you know. I think I'm thinking nutritionally, I think, when I'm shopping, a lot. Unless I'm buying rubbish food like instant noodles and macaroni cheese. Anyway, I shall have a think about that, so thank you for the question. Anyway, I have rambled on quite a lot, so I'm going to end this Q&A session. Thank you so much for all the questions. If this is your first time to my channel, I normally make daily vlogs, and they're normally a lot more visual actually. But anyway, thank you for watching it. If you'd like to watch more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Give the video a like if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!